Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business in a Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cover.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen.
Hello.
Hello.
So I've titled this R&D. Is it all about the science, or can any business benefit?
That's a sexy title.
I know. It might be called something else in the end.
Yeah, we'll let them rewrite that for us.
That's its working title at the moment. So, we do R&D in my business.
I do.
Yeah. But actually, I didn't actually realise the significance of it when we started doing it.
And when you first talked about it, I was like, well, isn't R&D inventing machines or...
coming up with new drugs and stuff. Well, hence, is it all about the science? So there's still a lot of companies out there that don't realise that developing a new system, improving a new system, I'll go into this in a bit more detail, but actually anything where you're putting time and effort to come up with a new way of doing something that you haven't actually done before, that could actually lead to improvements, not just to you, but to another business as well, can be seen as R&D. That is research and development. It really did take us a number of years and a really good accountant for us to realise that we've been missing out on what's called R&D tax relief from HMRC. I don't want this to be a boring conversation about tax.
And we're not qualified accountants.
No. So, we were missing out on an opportunity just to get a little bit back.
Yeah.
And turns out the government have actually been, believe it or not, of course, hang on, we've gone through.
Yes, anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
We're not going down that rabbit hole.
No, we're not going to go down the rabbit hole. But overall, HMRC is favouring UK businesses undertaking
so
R&D
on our own soil
because it ultimately improves their tax take.
Yeah.
So what is it? Right. So R&D, I'm just going to read the definition. It's a systematic and creative work undertaken to discover new knowledge and develop new products, processes, or services to improve existing ones.
That is broad.
Well, it is.
That is kind of broad and woolly in that there's a lot of interpretation in that.
Well, there is. I mean, it can't be prescriptive. It can't be. If you operate only in this sector, you can claim R&D. Yeah. So it has to be fairly broad. But HMRC sees R&D specifically so they can apply tax relief, particularly around technology, and that's my area, as the practical application of scientific principles or knowledge. So there is an aspect, even though it's not all about the science, it's actually about scientific principle. Yeah, maybe, which is kind of iteration and evidence-based.
Learning and improvement.
Absolutely, yeah. So an advance in knowledge or capability in science or technology may either have physical consequences or be an increase in overall knowledge. So drilling this down, for us, it was applying scientific principles or knowledge to produce an increase in overall knowledge, leading to a.
Can you give me an example of something you've done that classifies as R&D?
Yes.
To bring it to life.
Yeah. So I was actually going to go into that a little bit, just in a little while. I'm just going through this preamble, which.
Oh, okay, fine.
I mean, you can put your head to one side and have a snooze.
Yep.
An advance in knowledge or capability in science or technology may have physical consequences, or maybe an increase in overall knowledge, as those points are. So. In either case, a competent professional working in that field will recognise the advance as an appreciable improvement. Now, I heard from my accountant that there had been a whole bunch of people who had jumped on the R&D bandwagon and were encouraging any business, basically bought anything new into their business or did something new, that somehow that was R&D. And if I just cite one of them, which was they bought some ladders for their window cleaning business and were able to claim R&D tax relief.
Are they vastly different ladders?
Well, apparently not. They didn't invent them. They didn't manufacture them for their specific business. They bought them in. Yeah. They cited other ones, but it was like, okay, I can understand why that might be thrown out. But it's been one of those oversold and under delivered.
Yeah.
Kind of sectors of accountancy where there's been a jumping on the bandwagon, and basically, let's have a look. We can get you X number of £1,000 off your tax bill, but of course we want a percentage of that, and that's how it works. It's almost like no win, no fee.
Yeah.
For a lot of them.
So they're willing to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Everything at the wall. That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah. So the improving of an existing process or material or device, product or service that could maybe save costs, reduce time, reduce waste, is an area of potential.
Mm-hmm.
But an advance in an overall field as well. So knowing what you know could improve a set of processes for other people. And this is where we come in and our story comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So back before you knew me, Russ and I...
When the dinosaurs walked in. That made me sound old then, that's not true. 6 years ago? 7 years ago?
I know, I am old, yeah.
You're not.
So Russ and I identified that there was a need to advance ourselves in a particular area, which was to work with a specific sector to give ourselves a better possible chance of helping more people in that sector. So we're very well connected within the greeting card industry and the peculiarities of the greeting card industry, and also similar industries.
So gifting and
gifting, stationery, etc. They have peculiar requirements, and
when you mean peculiar, you mean unique rather than weird.
Yeah, all right, yeah. But actually, it's the requirements of a business that sells to other businesses. So not a business that sells to a consumer, but it sells to another business. They sell B2B or to trade. So they're selling to shops and other businesses that are going to sell their products on. So there was no such thing as B2B e-commerce back then, back in 2006, which is when we were considering this. So we worked in consultation with Nottingham Trent University. They had a knowledge transfer department, KTP, knowledge transfer program. And they had, yes, they do. And we came up with a set of principles to form a development structure to create a system that didn't exist. So previously there had been no one doing this, which was to create a platform, an e-commerce platform that would allow for selling to businesses, but also selling to consumers as well, and actually doing that within the same platform. Now, that still doesn't exist, mostly. Can be achieved in a roundabout way.
You have to get bolt-ons.
Yeah, but actually, the tax is the thing that really affects people. It's the consumers buy including tax, businesses buy net of tax. And to have that all working within one system is very difficult to do. Very, very expensive, into the tens and tens of thousands. So we didn't really know what e-commerce was ultimately going to become in 2006. Of course, we know now, and anyone could say, well, of course it was going to happen. But that's so easy to say. But at the time we didn't. So we had to take a bit of a risk on this. But we had to do something to differentiate ourselves from our competition. And we could either adopt a platform, or we could devise our own. So devising our own became the only option because there wasn't a platform
there wasn't
we could
anything
find
that
that actually would use the internal skills that we had. So we needed the flexibility and the freedom to be able to develop our own. So we didn't know at the time that you could actually claim credit for that, because It was R&D.
You just thought we need this in order to move our business forward.
Yeah, we put hundreds into thousands of hours into this.
Yeah.
You add it all up. Every time a project came along, we were actually developing it as the project was being built.
So it was almost a live,
constant iteration through that period. And that iteration went on for 10 to 12 years. So we came up with various versions as well. So there's version 2, 3, 4. But it was all predicated on there being the demand. We knew there was going to be demand
because it was your niche and you understood it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, and so we got to know that entire sector so well. They were intrinsic to what we were doing. But over the years, the additional development we kept doing, then it became obvious that when we talked to the accountant, surely we're putting all this effort into it. I know we're getting money out of it, but is there any feedback on it? Is there any advantage to this in tax terms? And the accountant at the time, John, said, yeah, there's a thing. Yeah, of course.
Why didn't you ask before now?
R&D credits, yeah.
Idiot.
But it's actually he did a fine job over a few years. At least he got us used to the idea. But we did still miss out on thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds that we could have had credited. But we then started working with someone a couple of years ago that actually they took our case incredibly seriously and wrote up each case that we had to combine them into one much bigger case. Mm-hmm. So having someone on your side that can see what you're doing, understands the limitations and understands the advantages but the limitations, knows where HMRC is likely to push back and where they need to provide.
So very specifically an expert.
An expert, in R&D. Yeah. Don't ever, for anyone that's listening to this that is actually developing new products and services and technology or anything else in that fits into that, there is guidance online, but the guidance, HMRC guidance, is kind of broad.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the individual experts, you really need someone who's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
The people that we that actually approached us, I think they've been doing it for 10 to 12 years. So they've been through all the rubbish. Mm. They've been through all
They know what not to do.
They know the wasteland out there. It's littered with the corpses of R&D experts.
Quite the visual.
Yeah. And ultimately, if they get that wrong, if they get your claim wrong, you don't pay that tax.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that is then rejected, and HMRC come back after you for it.
Yeah.
So
you can't assume you're going to win and just go, I'll just spend this 3K.
Absolutely right. I think at the moment, HMRC owes us about £8,000 to £10,000 in tax that they haven't they haven't given us back yet. Yeah.
It's weird because they always want it off of you.
Yes. Absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's
2 days later, they're knocking on your door.
It's a bit frustrating that. Yeah. But yeah, so anyone out there, come and talk to me. I'll tell you everything I know, and I'll pass you on to the accountants that we know. But there's no advantage to us to do that. But it's just really important that it's almost like claim what's rightfully yours. And if you are doing this, if you're doing what's considered R&D, and you can prove it, then it just helps to know that your tax bill can be reduced marginally. And it's not as if you're going to lose all that tax, but you lose some of it. At least it helps you to feel as though you're being supported by
getting something
the
back
government.
For the work.
You're being supported by the government, and because they want. We've mentioned UK PLC the other day.
Mm.
UK PLC wants to be seen as a country that is rewarding innovation, is rewarding invention, is rewarding development. And all I'd say is that there's an opportunity there to just save a bit on tax. But unfortunately, this is where the limitations, or some of the limitations, are you can't claim R&D credit on the arts humanities or social sciences, including economics, funnily enough.
You would have thought one was able to make quite strides in economics. It's still a
But
mathematics
there's no system coming out of it. Yeah. There's nothing tangible coming out. It's got to be tangible, Yeah. But isn't that interesting to see?
I invent acronyms all the time. Do you think I can get R&D credits on them?
For a new acronym.
I love an acronym. I like to boil it down to a good acronym.
Yeah, so it's just a little one, this one, really, on R&D, but it's just worth talking about just because...
It's honestly something I thought only applied to big businesses that were inventing, paracetamol.
No, absolutely not. Right the way down to the tiniest businesses, if they can prove it. And proving it is the trick, but
work with someone,
getting a good partner on side is a really important aspect to this. And because you can't do it yourself. You have to get the expert. And we were saying the other day about in business, we end up trying to do everything.
Yes, this is one you shouldn't.
We can't do everything because we're not experts in those areas. So
yeah.
Get an expert in, let the expert help you, but make sure you have that expert recommended and don't just listen to someone who tells you they're an expert.
Or believe the overpromising. I can save you £10,000 in tax in 3 minutes. Follow this easy to follow guideline. My checklist for getting you back R&D.
£500. Yeah. Anyway, so there it is. Bit of R&D.
Okay, I'm going to go and invent something now.
Right.
Because I could do with all that. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Dawny, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.